Alright, I want to be able to add task completions and then include them in the bounty, which will probably also require a verification. So, updated the status. I want to go into, probably bring the tags down below here. Alright, current balance, email, location, dancing, your reservation, your premium post orders, and your tags. So I certainly want to, oh, this is your profile. Where are the, what is this? It doesn't do any member of groups. Interesting. So that, oh, did I, oh, because I changed the groups, right. So groups, member of groups, and then filter, add a filter where can I make this smaller size? Small. How about that? Yep, good. Member of groups, and the filter, so these are all the groups, and the filter is going to be where members is member. Oh yeah, that's old. User IDs, array, ref, okay. Where user IDs includes this user profile. Okay, so that works now, and I want to add the tasks. So the task, like the task completions basically. So we'll add a new component, and I can list it as, instead of groups, God, this is so much more fun than going through that rental logic. Doing rental logic is like going through to the gym. You just do it and just kind of bring yourself out doing with repetition. So rental orders where we task completions, and I'll call it task completions, and let's just make that a table, and that's not going to show anything, but we can go into the tasks. Alright, incomplete tasks. So it's not so much like a task itself is incomplete, although I guess you could say like, okay, it's kind of like archiving it, because you're more putting out a bounty. Let's say someone says make dinner, and complete timestamp. Well, we're not going to have an image before or after. I think that'll be with the completion logic, and the date complete timestamp when it was completed. Yeah, alright, fine. Probably want to put an image in there, but we're getting like the animations now. Okay, and when I go in to make dinner, I want to be able to mark like a task completion. So again, create a new collection. It's going to reference, call that completions. It's going to reference task completions, and we do want the ability to add one. Certainly not edit. Allow users to add items if you are logged in. User profile, row ID is not empty. So a task completion is going to reference this makes sense. The task completions has to not reference the groups, but task completions. So task completions. Title, list. Alright, so when I'm adding a task completion, obviously it needs to reference so that's the task itself, but I need to update the model to, let's see, reference that's the row ID, parent ID, and call it the parent task ID, and again, a parent task relation ref. Where the parent ID matches the value in tasks ID. And then the tasks will have a completed reference list, and this clearly should be a query, so completions. Query source task completions filter by where the parent ID is this row ID. Score would be faster as a relation. Yeah. Yeah, Okay, well, we can just make that a relation for now. Certainly when you want to group where the values in ID match the value in task completions parent ID. Okay. Back to task completions, I want, we have a description, I want image before, make that an image. Oh Lord, I need a faster computer. After. Notes, you need an author, obviously, and author ID, and an author ref. God, I still don't know what the query thing does, although maybe when it just gets so big, then I need like more dashboards, and I'll be using that a lot. Where the author ID matches the value in user ID. I'm not going to match multiple, task completions, etc. So, when I want to add a task completion, first off, the filter list needs to reference the parent, where the parent ID is screen row ID. Okay. Now we're adding the description, and we want more components. We can get rid of the timestamp. And the values from screen are going to be the parent ID, and the author will be the values from the user profile, row ID, and I will save to the author ID, then the current date time is that timestamp. Cool. Alright, description. Now we have a before and after image. So let's do image picker, and then duplicate that, before and after, and the bottom one will be an after photo. I suppose you could do something like requires photo, so maybe there's more constraints on what a successful task completion would be. Yeah. Alright, description. Yeah. Made a salad. I don't know. Before and after, submit it. Made a salad. The group task completions could have meta information, like the timestamp. It's so nice not to have to deal with like the moment, like API. Like it's great, but it's just so much custom work. Glad to have all these time considerations handled. And the description might be the author ID or something. The image, oh no, that. Okay, task completions. So I also want to be able to edit this. Yeah. Jackson family coin bounty amount 5. And the author should be me, is assigned. No. Due date, fine. And it's interesting how you could transfer coin just by saying thanks, but it's more of I'm putting a bounty out there who's willing to accept it. Right, and then you go into the task completion, you have to mark it as verified, and once it's verified, then the bounty goes out. So in order to have, we have the task and task completions, and we have the author and author ref, and I want to create a lookup relation column author ref name, author name, and then I can duplicate that. Author image, it's a lookup. Author image, profile final. It's always nice to remember too that everything layers on top of everything else. So once you create these complex relations, you can just refer them really easily. Alright, task completion. Now we're going back into the task completion. Instead of the description being the author ID, it can be the author name, and the image, instead of being blank, can be the author image. The fields should include the bounty, and the bounty, if it's assigned to, that kind of stuff. So mark complete is, well, who's the author for one? Yeah, let's create, so the author, oh, the author is me, okay. Well then the mark complete button is really just that's going to be replaced with the task completion. So mark complete maybe is more of a allow action when row ID is not empty and complete is not checked. Well, we'll just say when the user profile row ID is the author, so I'm as Sway, and then right, I'm not the author, so okay, but I can add a task completion, and so the tasks might be bounty, and I might want to say another one of bounty count, like how many bounties you want to give away. So maybe 10 people can complete it, but the first 5 get coin. I suppose that coin logic is the key to make it anything more interesting than any other task manager. Okay, and then maybe if it's assigned, that means only the assigned person can mark it as complete. So the task completions alright. So now going into, maybe this is a good way to use the query. So we can go into the credit and the transfers out, and we could say something more like the task completions. I don't know. But isn't that just a reference? Yeah. I mean, the multiple relations is key, but if you're just doing, I don't know. Let's just call it a relation, because it's just relate items to where the value is. Row ID matches the value in task completion's author ID. But we need to do a lookup then. So task completions, and we want to create a I don't know, maybe rollup or task total bounties 1 are earned. So it's, I think, a rollup. Summarize the values of tasks assigned incomplete, groups query member of, tags relation transfer, completions. What? Transfer in tags. Tasks assigned incomplete. Wait. Tasks. Array. What is this? Tags relation, tasks, groups. But if I have the tasks relation, task completions, where the row ID, oh, that's going to be multiple. Right? And then maybe if it's multiple, then the roll up can be viewing, summarize the values of task completions. We need to reference the parent. Alright, for now we'll just do task completions count. And we can completions. So do the task completions have a reference? Maybe I'll say the parent bounty is going to be a lookup, and the relation column will be the parent ref, and then the bounty is the amount. So the question there is, now that we have the bounty from the task completion from the parent task, I'm back into the user. The completions count can be a roll up, can be completions, bounty earned, task completions, parent, and then the bounty. Okay. Coin, not the count, but the sum. Hopefully I can get into the more math logic as this thing develops. To just need the basic functionality, and then I guess tracking, like, because you need like a lot of dashboards, and just, I suppose there's really infinite ways you can manage, rentals and tasks. People are just doing stuff, so you're delivering goods, etc. Completions, bounty earned. All right. Now, therefore, let's go into what's going on? Oh, right. Task. Completions, bounty earned, and it's the total amount there. So credit, total bandwidth, and then the total should, you're adding bounty, task bounty, and that is going to be the task completions bounty earned, right? So Sway should have 5 more coin, right? So if I go to him and the task completions, and that is, so if I add another one, I say, cooked steak. Should probably add images to that. And if I go to his profile, made a salad, right? Oh, because that's the completion, right? So I need to be able to list the author, so I can go to his profile, and that's going to reference the author ref. Whew. Made a salad. Sort by whatever, in that filter, author, and the description should include his total credit. Okay, yeah, now he has 60. Cool. Let's just go back and confirm that. If I add another one, I did something. should have 65. Very cool. Go to his profile, task completions, and then maybe in the fields we can start adding some other concepts here. And the name, credit, total bandwidth. That's good. I definitely want to add a ranking thing, and I saw the tutorial with Robert, but then it looked like you could do that through the querying. But I at least should practice that. What am I doing? Task. Completions. Or even just a leaderboard of like stuff that you've done, completions count. Yeah, hopefully I can get this logic under my feet soon so I can just focus on like dashboards. Name, tasks, completions, bounty earned. Completions count, yeah, awesome. Alright, that's good for now.